And that is our big story this evening. Milwaukee taxpayers may have to open their checkbooks a little wider.
That's because the cost of Milwaukee settlement over stops and searches is ballooning for the second time in a week. And that has City Alderman saying, hold on a minute.
Political reporter Theo Keith has been investigating the settlement. Theo, explain how this thing ballooned.
Ted, Mary, what was once thought to cost less than $2 million will now be at least 3 times that because of a Chicago-based consultant that will bill taxpayers at $233 an hour.
Milwaukee aldermen huddle to learn what the city's proposed settlement with the ACLU of Wisconsin will cost. Their faces, from President Ashanti Hamilton to Alderman Bob Donovan and Mark Borkowski, tell the story. Milwaukee police say a consultant forced on the city as part of the deal would cost $3.5 million over 5 years. Alderman Michael Murphy says it was like buying a used car from a dishonest dealer.
It's kind of a bait and switch. You're told it's $1.9 million, and I find out at the hearing it's really more like $6 million.
The attorney's fees and court costs, which were previously announced, will be $1.9 million. The city plans to borrow that money because its rainy day fund is low, adding $1 million in interest. And now there's the $233 an hour consultant.
And here in Milwaukee, we don't print the money. These are real dollars that have material impact on. If you spend money on lawsuits, you can't spend it on services.
Council members delayed voting on the deal for the second time in a week. Hamilton says they've got 2 options: approve the settlement or tell city lawyers to fight the ACLU in court.
I think council members need to mull over the cost benefit of challenging this.
The ACLU says Milwaukee police targeted African Americans and Latinos with stops and searches. MPD would be required to overhaul its practices as part of the settlement.
We are adjourned.
If the council does decide to approve this settlement, it'll have to do so at a special meeting before the trial is scheduled to start on May 21st. Live in the newsroom, Theo Keith, Fox 6 News.
Okay, why the look of surprise on aldermen's faces today? They had to know what the consulting fee was going to be. They had to know how this process works, but they seemed so shocked.
Well, they knew the cost of the attorney's fees. They knew that there was going to be a consultant and there was going to be some price tag associated with that. I think the $3.5 million over 5 years was what surprised them, Ted.
Here's an idea. Ask what they charge and then decide if you want to hire them.
They found out today.
Yeah,
and
they
surprised.
did, didn't they?
Yeah.
And so did taxpayers. Theo Keith, thanks.
More news on